Men just don't fundamentally believe that they have control of the outcomes whenever they get married. That's whether it succeeds, whether it fails, whether they end up in a manipulative situation, a sexless situation, and so many other things that can happen uh, because women have deviated. I think men have deviated so much from tradition and what marriage is supposed to be. Nobody knows how to stay down. Nobody just know how to stay down, like stay loyal, stay down and ride it out. And is for women specifically, hypergamy becomes a curse for her when she get in a relationship because she doesn't know how to turn it off. So she burns and lusts. So every time there's a challenging situation that arises in a relationship, she's always thinking about her next move or whether or not she can do better. And social media kind of amplifies that by giving them this illusion that they have all of these options.
In the Black community, nearly half of all marriages end in divorce, and men face significant financial, emotional, and societal pressures. Tonight, we ask, why are so many men avoiding marriage? I'm gonna start with you, Trev. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear fear of marriage? What's your personal experience of view?
Okay. Well, my personal experience is not to be taken as reality, right? Because the data shows differently. So even though I understand and value marriage, I do understand that it is a scary thing, particularly in today's society. And I know you mentioned the financial risk is crazy because that's your livelihood, that's your everything. And people say money isn't everything, but it damn near is because it's gonna determine, what kind of food you can eat, which will sustain your life longer. It's going to determine how safe your neighborhood is. It's going to determine how you retire, if you're going to be fine when you're older, if you have the resources to be able to take care of yourself during that retirement. And it's a scary thing to watch your assets go away and then you have to change your life as a human being. And the court systems is what scares the hell out of people. That's what makes men not want to get married so much. And I, for me, I feel like I was extremely fortunate to find the woman that I did. So I'm still within that marriage. And some of us on the panel also share that experience. But again, it's not everyone's reality. It's extremely difficult to find a woman who is marriageable at this point because humans in general are just now more self-centered. And one of the things you mentioned just now was people wanting to please their partner in every way. And not so many people are concerned about pleasing their partner. They're more worried about themselves. And that is the worst way to go into a relationship. We can't be worried about ourselves and think that you're going to do well in a relationship because it's a constant maintenance required. You have to check in with your partner. You have to make sure they're good. As a man, I feel it's important for me to put forth a tremendous effort to make sure that my family is good, and that absolutely includes your wife. You have to protect her, you have to provide, and most importantly to me is problem solve. That's where women find this most useful because a lot of times they can, in today's society, they can uh, s- protect themselves to an extent, and the way that, at least in the West, are women are generally protected and they are absolutely providing for themselves. But that problem solving, there's certain things that a lot of women just have not caught up to yet. How many times your wife call on you in a day for certain things for you to do? Um, but I don't know. I don't know all the answers of how we get back to that. I know that one thing is to consider others. That is a great start. But there's so many things that are wrong right now, and social media is not helping. We know that it isn't working, but the bigger question is how do we make it work again? But men, it's not. I feel like for men, it's not, the juice ain't worth the squeeze as it was. So marriage was a lot more rewarding, but now, women really don't value men. I think that's the major issue that we're having between this perversion of feminism. Women have lost the value in men. And if a woman doesn't value you as a man, she won't respect you. If she does not respect you, it's impossible for her to love you. And she is going to treat you the way that you do not feel like you deserve to be treated. And it's going to destroy the relationship. So until we can have women value men again, we're not going to get anywhere. But I don't see spaces outside of this where anyone is trying to help that cause. People are telling men that they are, misogynistic and they are useless and we don't need them. It's so much hatred towards men, and they're trying to emasculate us and telling us it's attaching toxic to masculinity. You're not even appreciated as a man anymore. So a lot of men coming up right now, you got the Gen Zers and stuff looking for answers. They're young, they're trying to work on themselves, but no matter how hard it is, I mean, women, no matter how hard they work, women aren't appreciating them. Women's standards have raised tremendously, but what they are willing to do has simultaneously decreased. So it's a raw deal for men at this point, and I feel like that's why so many men are shying away from marriage right now.
All right. I'm gonna go to you, Darwin. What is the first same question? What is the first thing that comes to mind when you hear failed marriage? And what's your personal experience or view?
Uh, I think what comes to mind when men, whenever I hear the thing about fear in marriage is men just don't fundamentally believe that they have control of the outcomes whenever they get married. That's whether it succeeds, whether it fails, whether they end up in a manipulative situation, a sexless situation, and so many other things that can happen. Uh, because women have deviated. I think men have deviated so much from tradition in what marriage is supposed to be. Nobody knows how to stay down. Nobody just know how to stay down, like stay loyal, stay down and ride it out. And is for women specifically, hypergamy becomes a curse for her when she get in a relationship because she doesn't know how to turn it off. So she burns and lusts. So every time there's a challenging situation that arises in a relationship, she's always thinking about her next move or whether or not she can do better. And social media kind of amplifies that by giving them this illusion that they have all of these options. So if they aren't getting what they want or they're getting what they need, rest assured that, you know what I'm saying, there's a greener grass on the other side. So in my personal experience as far as fair marriages, it's just a lot of men I don't even know if a lot of men believe that, you know what I'm saying, that they're capable of vetting correctly before they even step into it. And they're getting in a situation for the wrong reason. And then it dawns in on them that maybe you should have considered all of these red flags and all of this incompatibility. And then I think movies and entertainment and give us this illusion that we can change people whenever you should just deal with who you with. And then there's always this question of man about settling. Yeah, we settling. We actually mastered being able to settle. It's innate in us to be able to settle. You should. We're hypogamous, which is the opposite of hypergamy. So we usually can date down and be content with who we with as long as we respect it and appreciate it. Women, however, struggle with that. And the reason why they struggle with it is because hypergamy works in a beneficial way for women whenever they're on the rise, when they're getting to their peak. But once they get to their peak, it becomes a curse because the level of entitlement and things and options they think that are available to them is going to continue to rise or plateau whenever it actually goes down. So they have this hypergamy whenever they're coming down off of their peak. So it works. It gives them this unrealistic expectations or the type of guy they want or think they deserve, entitled to, doesn't really match the value that they can bring. So that's when hypergamy becomes a problem. So when you get in these relationships and these women are having this fear, this FOMO, this fear of missing out, like, damn, maybe, you know what I'm saying, I can do better. And that's whenever you find yourself in a situation, a woman who want a monkey branch. And I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard that term before. It's becoming more trendy. Women holding on to the previous guy or the next guy. And a lot of it's got to do with impressionability. A lot of women are coming out of the household and they already been imprinted before they even graduated high school. So they already have these preferences, the sexual preferences, how they like it, how they want to be treated. And then you got to ask the woman, who taught you that? You know, saying, did your father teach you that? No, another man taught you that. So now you got to fit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of her being able to fit. So women are largely becoming, they just doing away with submission altogether. So it's hard to find a woman who's willing to compromise. So that's a real a big thing. Just having a woman who's impressionable, she's willing to cooperate with you and she can compromise. But then you get in these situations where women want to be equal and they want to have the same amount of power and authority in a relationship, and they want to get you to compromise. So men are coming into the situation. They don't have mentors. They don't have a circle of man. They don't believe that. They don't believe that it's beneficial that, you know what I'm saying, you go at this as with somebody to back you, somebody to be over you, like to guide you and give you direction. They feel like, oh, I'm a man, I do it on my own. No, you know, so this is a critical decision to make. It's best to have somebody like OG like Shannon to go to and be like, hey, Shannon, man, am I making the right decision, man? I really love this girl, X, Y, and Z. And Shannon to come into you like, look, bro, I love you to death, but that ain't it. You need to figure that out. Y'all need to communicate. A lot of men are getting in marriages and they don't have the Shannon to go to. You get what I'm saying? They don't have it. They don't even invest in it. Sometimes it's gonna cost, but it's worth it. It's a decision. It's actually a life-altering decision. It can damage you financially. We've seen it. So many people have lost their livelihood behind marriage. So I think we should invest. I think men need to invest more in a decision. We're invested. We're highly invested in being productive and being able to take care of a woman, but we're not highly invested in protecting ourselves. And I think we gotta kind of lean towards that way a little bit more.